Coming up on Verbatim, we're talking about the recent terrorist attacks in France.
Plus, we'll give you highlights from this week's events from International Education Week.
And we have the world of USD in 60 seconds.
Verbatim starts right now. Welcome back to another episode of Verbatim. I'm Trent Opstedahl.
And I'm Monica Smithwick. We are taking you behind some of the stories in the Volant, and a new issue is on newsstands today and on volantonline.com.
Monica joins me today to talk about some things that have been happening in France recently.
Yes, and as we all know, there were 6 attacks on Paris this past Friday, which was claimed by the Islamic State. They were responsible for the 132 deaths and 350 injuries. And the president of France said that it was definitely an active war and that their response will be merciless.
Yeah, so a very bad situation happening there right now as this story continues to unfold. We've heard from students here at USD who've been affected by this. For example, there was a 1973 graduate who actually was living in Paris at the time of these attacks, and so we hear from him and what it was like for him and his wife when this all unfolded. We've also heard from a student who is studying here right now, and she's from Paris, and she had family who may have been affected by this, and luckily they weren't, but that was a very scary time for her. So we hear from them, and even this past weekend we've had some things happen here locally in connection with these events in France.
Yeah, the Sound of USD, they actually practiced and learned the French national anthem Saturday morning right before the big state game.
Which is very cool.
Yes.
It was a nice little tribute to them. So we're going to hear from those students and what it was like for them to kind of learn that and what it meant to them. We'll also hear from another student who's been living in France to get their perspective, and you can find all that stuff this week on volantonline.com. Last Thursday was USD's annual drag show. The Volant's Tatum Dean was there and reports on all of the night's action.
Last Thursday, Spectrum Gender and Sexuality Alliance hosted a drag show at the Al Newhart Media Center at 7 p.m. The show featured music, dirty jokes, and local talent, which Spectrum President Daniel Keller said was one of the unique aspects.
All of our talent is local, isn't it?
Yeah. Really? The group has been doing a lot to prepare for the event. First year and group treasurer Simone Owen said on top of doing all of the hard work, they also did fun things like make condom crowns and necklaces.
Well, there was a couple weeks of planning, getting the space. There was, what else did we do? We had to make flyers. We made the condom necklaces and the crowns that are needing.
USD graduate and drag queen Martina Shakers was the host for the event. Along with all of the local talent, Miss Gay United States Brandonna Dupree-Larice performed, which many were excited for.
Definitely Brandonna. I think she's going to have a really fun routine. She's kind of like a headliner. I think it's going to be really, from what I've heard, it's going to be really fun.
The drag show is hosted by Spectrum every year. The money raised from this show will go towards making a bigger, better show next year.
Coming up after the break, we'll be taking a look at some events from this week's International Education Week.
We'll be back in just 15 seconds.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
If you like food, movies, and music, and you're interested in learning about different cultures, International Education Week is for you. The Volant's Rachel Newville highlights some of the events that have taken place this week.
This week is International Education Week at USD. Tuesday night's event was the Cultural Fair. The event consisted of multiple cultural groups on campus displaying their cultures for the public. 2 students from the African Student Association touched on why the event and week is important to them.
This is the day we actually get to share our culture, like where we're from, especially as an international student. Like I get to like share things, from back home, and actually talk about my experience here.
I just like coming here and looking at the different booths and learning a little thing about every culture here.
I love to learn about different people's culture. I like to learn new things, so I'm really excited. Yeah.
Yes, I'm from Minnesota, so I mean, like you get to learn about different cultures, but I've never been to an event where it's specifically for that.
International education events will continue throughout the week. For more information, visit the Center for Academic and Global Engagement's website.
Each week, the Volant covers stories that matter to USD students. We take a look at some of those stories happening around campus. It's the world of USD in just 60 seconds.
On Monday, students got to chew on a thought while they chewed on their food during a flash lecture. Flash lectures are put on throughout the semester by the Honors Department and are generally under 5 minutes each. Monday, Associate Dean of Students John Howe gave a lecture about his time interning in Afghanistan.
This past Saturday was the big USD versus SDSU game. The Coyotes were winning most of the game, but sadly lost, giving up 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. The Coyotes play their last game this Saturday at Illinois State.
On Thursday was the 19th annual Thursday Night Live, put on by Phi Kappa Alpha. Over $5,000 was raised and all the proceeds will be donated to kids with cancer. Pike Dream Girl and the winner of a banner contest were also announced at the end of the show.
Here's what's happening this week at USD. Friday is the first day that you can view Young Frankenstein. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. and you can pick up your tickets in the Fine Arts Building.
If you're looking for something to do on Monday evening, head over to the Mook at 5 and participate in some t-shirt tie-dyeing.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Verbatim. A special thanks to Coyote News for letting us use their studio.
Coyote News will air live tonight at 5 and again at 6.
Be sure to tweet us with the hashtag USD Verbatim.
We'll see you again here in 2 weeks. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
The Volant is now on your iPhone and iPad with Apple News. Subscribe today.